Morning, everybody, and welcome to this pre-event webinar for the Global European Marketplace 2024. I will just wait for a few of our attendees to come in. This is hopefully a useful webinar in order to prepare either long-term attendees of GEM or brand new people, just some practical information ahead of the event and also during the process leading up to the workshop itself in order to make the most of the day itself. So I will be publishing the recording of this event and it will be sent as a follow-up just as a reference. So don't worry, if you miss anything, you'll be able to watch it back. So we will just run through the agenda, what is expected in the coming weeks, as I said, just as a run-up to this event. I'll give you some examples of what to expect, who's attending, and some of the elements of the event itself. So please do use the Q&A function on here, and I will attempt to respond to any questions as they come in if I'm not covering it already. So sales are still open, sales and registrations are still open, so people are still coming into this event. Usually these weeks are the peak numbers of when people join, but you will have seen you've been asked, if you're joining this webinar, you've been invited via the link to create your profile. So this is a useful element of the event where we combine the data that we have. Obviously, this event is a member exclusive event, so we have lots of information about your business already on file, but we then expand that a little bit in the context of this event specifically in order to provide a company profile. And that's done both on the buyer side and the supplier side. And this is a bit extended this year in terms of the detail. I'll quickly show you what we're looking for. This combines some of the information that we have, as I said, plus the information that you'll do. This will build up your profile, your shop window, and that of your counterparts as well. So these will be single-page briefings of your business, built from generic information about your general business, but then added to with information specifically about your intentions at this event. So what I would urge everybody to do during this process, and that's open, I think, until, let me just check, the deadline for that is the end of next week. So remember that this is a B2B shop window. So it's ever tempting just to copy the standard boilerplate across from your website, etc. But remember, the context of this event is that it's a B2B conversation. So you can be super specific about your needs as an operator or your particular service that you're looking to sell as a supplier. So bear it in mind that way, keep it pithy because people are busy and probably won't spend as much as they should do in terms of reviewing everybody's company profile when it comes to the preference matching, which is the next step after that. So after we've collected everybody's profile, and if people haven't done, we do make sure we chase them up, even though we have a good baseline now for this year with that additional data from the member database. We open the process of preference-based matching. So there'll be a separate video for that to explain the process. Not done it before. That's where you use the different filters and you can review everybody else's company profile at that point to select and rank the people that you'd like to meet with. So again, there'll be a video of the specifics of that. I think probably the headline advice is, remember, please don't just do that in alphabetical order as you put the list, as you review the list, it's in order of preference. And that is how the algorithm then assigns the meetings on that basis. So you really want to max out your preferences. Don't just go for people you've met before. Sometimes people come back and say, oh, we see the same people. We look at the data and they've requested the same people. So do be brave and have a look at some of the new people that we've got on board, of which we have quite a number this year. So I'm just going to share some of the attendee profile stats. Remember, it's always important that even though you're coming to London for this event, we are, as ETOA, not UK outbound experts. We have a lot of UK outbound business within our membership, of course, but this is the place to be for all leisure international markets. So bear that in mind, that it's not just the UK market that you're thinking of when you're doing these choices. The operators may indeed be based in London, although we have many people traveling in for this event, but its characteristic is international markets in essence. So that's that element. So in terms of the practicalities of the event, in the form that you've already submitted, please do RSVP if you intend to come to the industry briefing on Thursday the 31st. That's in the afternoon at the Barbican Centre. There's limited capacity for that, so it is on a first come, first served basis. So do make sure that you've correctly RSVP'd, or if you've changed your mind and your travel plans have come into focus, do let us know if you can no longer attend, because it's a really interesting session of the overview of what we've been up to, the kind of headline of the hot topics of the moment as the season kicks off, and particularly then to kind of influence and educate the kind of conversations that you'll be having during the workshop on Friday the 1st at the Intercontinental London, the O2. Obviously, if you need some information about how you can get there, then there's some details on the website. So I will just now also share the details. Hopefully you can see the chat that I'm sharing. So this one here, the agenda. So that's the agenda for both days, but bearing in mind that we say from 8 o'clock on Friday. Please don't bust a gut to try and get there for 8 o'clock. That's just the opening period, the first 50 minutes, the registration period from 8 o'clock until 9:50. But do please bust a gut in order to be there for 9 o'clock, where the appointments start. So as I said, you'll have submitted your preferences by the time we get there. Again, we really ask you to max those out in terms of take all opportunity to complete those as much as possible. They're taken in combination with your counterparts, and then agendas are produced. So we give you just over a week in order to submit your preferences. So that's up until Wednesday, the 16th of October. Then we run the algorithm, and over the weekend, make sure that we can do some checks over the appointments that have been made. So you'll receive your provisionals around the 23rd of October. That's the Wednesday, the 23rd, and then that gives you just over a week in order to prepare. They are provisional meetings. Obviously, some tweaks can be made in that last week. So the very final agenda that you'll be using on the day of the event is that we print you for the at the event itself. So we will provide your agenda printed and ready for the event itself. And that's the one that you should follow on the day, just to avoid, in case there's been any slight, maybe one change or a movement of time, to make sure that you're in the right place at the right time. So as a reminder, at the Global European Marketplace, the operators are seated, so they are static throughout the day. Operators, when they arrive, should come into the venue and they can go straight to their desks where their packs and badges are ready on their table. So we'll have a table plan and we'll let you know in advance which table you're at. But instead of queuing for registration, you just need to go straight upstairs. Suppliers, on the other hand, can pick up their packs in the foyer of the hotel as soon as they arrive. In there, you've got your badge and your agenda. That's the agenda that you follow throughout the day. So there'll be a table number there, and then you walk the room. The layout of the ballroom itself. You enter into the ballroom. On the left-hand side is number 1, and then the numbering snakes through the room. So that's how you should follow there. But we'll have a printed table plan available and on the back of your desk. So you'll definitely get used to it after a kind of the first intimidating sight of 300 desks looking at you. But remember, as a supplier, that is business and conversations ready to happen. The way that the agenda flows, there are 12-minute appointments. We give you a 2-minute warning, so do try and keep an ear out for that, because sometimes it can be lost in the buzz of the room. Please respect the agenda. So that's if you're a buyer or supplier. If you're a supplier, please do move on. If you're a buyer, please do prompt your person to move on if you can see there's somebody to be waiting for you. Throughout the day, as well as the official breaks, there are 4 unscheduled open appointments. These remain unscheduled, and they're more ad hoc meetings that you can catch up with anybody that you're looking to meet with whom you've not been matched. If you're a supplier looking for buyers, that's very straightforward, because you can go find their desk if you know who you're looking for. If you're a buyer then seeking an additional supplier, just come to the help desk, which is right in the middle of the room, and we'll be able to tell you where that supplier will be heading or where they've been in order to catch them on the way around the room. So do get in touch if you need us to make any one-to-one introduction. So to that note, please do come with comfortable shoes and well charged up. It's amazing how many people turn up to the event wanting to charge up all their devices at 8:30 in the morning. It would be really appreciated if you could come charge up. There are limited charging facilities. Obviously, we want to maximise the space in the room for the meetings, and comfortable shoes, because yes, as a supplier, you'll be running from one end of the room to the next. It will be a very intense day, but hopefully very rewarding on a commercial and personal level. So do make sure in your plans that also you have allowed for time to attend our fantastic drinks reception. If you've been in recent years, the good news is that Diageo and their home brands of Ireland will be returning to put on the drinks reception after the event. So that will be upstairs, just above the ballroom. We'll have fantastic presentation from the likes of Guinness and the other brands from Ireland to end the day, which is becoming a highlight of these events year on year. So in terms of the other sponsors, we do have some nice treats again, but I really should thank them already, the people who are joining us. So in no particular order, our supporters this year so far are Big Bus Tours, Guinness Storehouse, as I said, and Diageo, Liverpool Football Club, Tourism Ireland, and Fragonard. And then we will also be joined by a few of our members who don't quite fit the buyer-supplier binary, who are really interested still in engaging in some of our members. They'll be hosting marketing tables in the room. So as a buyer or a supplier, that will be an interesting place to stop by, and they may be coming to visit you in the open appointments as well. That will be with Trust Payments, Plan, and our partner Arrival, who are doing their event up in Edinburgh at the end of the year. So do make sure to pop by their stands. Again, it can be quite a large and intimidating room, but as I said, the ETOA team will be in the middle of the room at the help desk in order to send you in the right direction if you have any particular inquiries. So, as I said, really the task in hand now is for everybody to complete their profile as best as possible. Do bear in mind, as I said, that we've got some fantastic new members in the mix at this year's event. I think at least now over 50 new supplier members have joined us. And then I think between 15 and 20 new operators in the mix as well. So you may not recognize their brand. That's probably a prompt on the list to go and have a look at their profile in order to work it out and see what new business from new markets would be of interest. So as I said, in the link that I sent in the chat, an important element of that is the profile and the attendees, the profile stats. So that really gives you a character from the majority of having North American business or Asian business, and then all the different markets that are represented there as well from around the world. So it truly is an international, global European marketplace. So, as I said, if you do have any questions, please do submit them in the chat. This recording will be distributed after, so you can send that on to any of your colleagues who are attending who might not be able to join today. And then we can give you some more information on practical elements as we go through. It's probably easier to just in more snippet-like videos rather than too much information all at once. But as I said, I will stay on the line just in case anybody wants to ask me any specific questions about their case or otherwise. If not, I look forward to seeing you at the event itself. There's still time to take advantage of the additional promotional opportunities that may be advertising in the printed directory, which will be provided to everybody, or one of the sponsorship items as well. Or indeed, if you want to bring a colleague, remember that the secondary delegate option is available either for the buyers or the suppliers. So the buyers, we encourage as sensible amount of desks to be booked in by the operators. Maybe people attend with different markets or product interests, and that we can divide them that way. And then to conquer, so if you want to bring a colleague as a buyer who won't take appointment, there is a charge now for that. Because we would like to encourage people to take the meetings whilst they attend the event. I can't see any questions, so that hopefully means that I've covered everybody. Okay, just had a question about access to the venue. So there are a few hotels nearby, but it's a very accessible venue in North Greenwich. So if you travel by tube, then that's North Greenwich on the Jubilee line. That's a very regular service, and then it's a very obvious route to the hotel from the North Greenwich line on the Jubilee. So we're right behind the Millennium Dome O2 building. That's the big intercontinental there, and then the wing, there's a dedicated wing to the event space there. There are interesting ways of getting there as well. You can use the Thames Clipper boat service that comes to North Greenwich as well. So if you're staying in town, more in central London, you might like to check out the timings on the boats from central London. That makes quite a nice start to the day. Just make sure that you're in situ in North Greenwich, which is very much doable, in time for our welcome message at 8:50 in the morning. I think we are also accessible if you want to come in via the Elizabeth line. That's either a change at Canary Wharf, or if you carry on to Custom House, then you can get the cable car over to North Greenwich as well. So there's very varied ways of getting in. If you're still looking for places to stay, do get in touch and we can share some ideas for accommodation. Greenwich is also a good option to stay. I don't think there are any rooms at the Intercontinental itself. I'm not sure. It has appeared full for the whole year running up to this event, and I've asked the hotel for information on that, but I've not seen any rooms available at the venue itself. But there are quite a number of local options in Greenwich itself, as well as a few in North Greenwich. Okay, thank you very much for your questions. We look forward to seeing you in a few weeks here in London. As always, just get in touch with Celestina, support@celestina.travel if you've got any questions during this period before the event. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.